We shot like a spec commercial, sort of. Not really a spec commercial, more like 3 shots for our reel. But I'm gonna break it down. So here we go. Melissa, our model, is going to walk in, sit down on the beach chair, pool chair, have a nice drink, read some of the finer points of literary genius in the Restoration Hardware catalog. We're gonna look at the bottle. Ooh, nice. Oh, I bet you it tastes good. It sure does. Have a drink and sit back and go for a dip in the pool. Whoops. And go for a dip in the pool. On the pool floaty with the drink. Yay. Gear-wise, we shot this on the Bmpcc, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro. The longest name for a camera ever. We also had a Sigma 18-35. The Sigma 18-35 millimeter art lens. It's a photo lens. It's not exactly something I would want to have used, but sort of the goal for this shoot was not only to not spend any money, but to use the gear that we already own. And so that's what we owned. That's what we have readily available, and so that's what we used. So there you go. We had the camera on a CineSlider, a Kessler CineSlider, pushing through these plants here, and we were monitoring everything using a Teradek 4K Bolt, Teradek Bolt 4K to a Smallhd 1703 P3X and a onboard 702 Touch from Smallhd as well. But yeah, we're gonna be pushing through these plants. She's gonna sit down, yada yada yada. So for lighting wise, we have over here right next to camera to the left is a 6x6 bleached muslin as I choke on my own spit. 6x6 of bleached muslin, pushing some fill in this way. The sun is right up here, right above these trees, and it's coming down this way. So we're pushing some light this way. Right next to that 6x6, we have a 3x3, I think, or a 2x3 foam shiny bounce, and that is pushing down this way onto her hat here and a little bit on the plant here. And that is that for that side. On this side, to the camera right, we have a 12x12 of neg. And to be perfectly honest, I don't think it's doing anything. It's not playing at all. But it will when we go to the close. So, but yeah, it's there too. So moving on down the line, here we go. So for this one, we've got the bottle here in focus. That was sort of gonna be like our product shot for this spec ad look. And she's gonna lean forward and grab it, and focus is gonna go with her. Back as she leans back. So for this here, essentially what we did is just bring everything that we had in the wide shot in closer. So that 6x6, a bleach muzz is maybe 4 feet closer. We were running out of room a little bit, but brought that in about 4 feet. That bounce that was on this side next to the bleach muzz is also brought in. We added another bounce just above camera and right over the top of this table, pushing some level down onto the table itself. And then we added a 2-stop net to the background here to kind of pull down this highlight. We were running out of time on the day. The sun was going back behind the trees here, and so all of this level back here and in the background was fading away pretty quickly. So she was still in full sun. So what we had to do was we had to pull some ND out and expose the background a little bit more, but then also knock down, but keep the quality of light on her. So we still wanted it to look like sunlight and not necessarily diffused. Just bring the level down. So we added that 2-stop net and that bounce, and then brought everything in closer. And then, oh yeah, the neg is now, we'll go back to the wide shot to show you, but the neg that is out of frame here is now touching this chair here. So it's giving her a little bit of shape. It's giving her, it's doing what neg is supposed to do and suck up some of that light. And she's gonna pull back, and we're gonna see our frame here, so that's cool. And yeah, I think this is a really, really great look. I like this look a lot. It's very soft, very nice looking, but still has that kind of hard edge to it, especially along here, down her knee and leg, and on the hat, and on the book, and her wrist here. It looks nice. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And then for our drone shot, originally we had planned to do this shot first. We wanted to have the light is sun's sort of over this way. Yeah, by here, you can sort of see the sun peeking through the trees a bit, but we wanted the pool to be in full sun. But unfortunately, we ran out of time. We took these shots up here took a long time to kind of get sorted out. We were trying to deal with some stuff, and just took a lot longer than we had anticipated. So we opted to do this shot last because we thought, oh, if we get this stuff done up here first, then we'll have enough time. And unfortunately, we didn't. So we still got the shot. It still looks okay, but it's not exactly what we had in mind. So we ended up, I don't know if we go any wider on this. No, not really. The pool floaty, this shot was sort of chaos, to be honest. Right next to the pool, like on the pool's edge, is that 6x6 pushing light back into her a little bit. We have both of the bounces that we had up on this shot here, the bounce that was right above the camera here, and of course the one that's back over this way. Both of those are shiny side, and they are pushing as much light into her as we can get, because really we're in full shade at this point, except for these little leaks through the trees. So, we ran out of time. We did what we could. We got the shot. It is what it is. AJ, our drone pilot, did a phenomenal job at keeping her centered. That was one of the problems we had, and why it was chaotic. We didn't really think about it, but the pool floaty was moving around a ton. We have the fountain on, so the water's moving a lot, so she's moving all around. She's spinning around and moving toward the edge here, and so we kept having to push her back out into the middle of the pool, and AJ's trying to follow her around, and so it just took a lot longer than we thought it was going to take, and a little bit more complicated than we thought it was going to be. So all in all, it turned out great. The image is okay, and it looks pretty good, and yeah, just the wrong time. We just missed the time and that's okay. So anyway, that is the whole thing. Big time thank you to everybody who was involved. My wife, Emily, she came out and AD'd and styled the shoot for us. AJ, who was our drone pilot and BTS guy and grip. Jamie, who was our all-around, all across the board help, but mainly gripping. The Astupians for letting us use their house for a few hours. Melissa, of course, who as a champ and sat in the sun for a few hours for us. And of course, Tyler, who directed the shoot, who produced the shoot, who spent money on this shoot, and brought all his gear. And yeah, he did it. This whole thing really wouldn't be possible without him. So a big time thank you to Tyler. Big time thank you to everybody who was involved. It was really great, and I really hope you enjoyed it as well. So we'll see you in the next one. Later. Bye. I'm gonna do some thumbnails. What is that? Can you believe it? Oh.